Hello, and good morning, entry two. How are you? Today is the 24th or something like that of February. We have some good news though. We are going back to the college. So we're all going to meet again in the college very soon. I'm just going to get out my dates to explain exactly when we're coming back. As you know, I always have my little book here, and it helps me to organize my time. It's been a difficult time, so I appreciate you studying from home. Thank you for doing the exams. Thank you for doing the grammar exercises. And thank you for keeping in touch, okay? That's very important for me and for you and for your English, okay? You can keep learning without the teacher, but we will be back soon. So we have just one more week of this. So just to explain very quickly, today is the 25th of Thursday, 25th is today. Okay, so that's today. Now, next week, it's going to be the 4th of March. So that's next week. And then on the 11th of March, okay, we are going to be back in C206, back in the classroom, learning together, talking with our friends, preparing for the exam, and I'm sure you will do an excellent job. So next week I will give you the topic for the exam so that you have an idea what you're going to learn. But this week I'd like you to focus on your grammar, vocabulary, learning new words through reading and through practicing at home. Okay? So again, remember, please come to class in 2 weeks' time, 11th of March, 2006. Okay, now if you're interested in the exam, what's happening on the exam? Well, on the 18th of March, okay, and on the final day, which would be the following week, I think the 25th of March, these 2 weeks we plan to have exams during these times. Okay. When I say exams, that means just that you sit in a room with your partner and talk together about a topic. Okay. So on the 11th, we're going to practice this, and then we're going to practice it a little bit more. And then when we're ready, we go in and do the exam. Okay. After you finish the exam, you're welcome to go home because obviously I'm going to be by myself on that day, and I'm going to have to do the exam. So we will give you more information about that later, but don't worry about that. I'll tell you all about the exam and what you need to do. Okay? Right. Okay, so what do we have now? Now we are looking at what we call Test B, Sample Test B. In Sample Test B, we see this notice. Okay, that's the notice, if you have that with you. What does it say? It says this: second in our series on the future of the town. The way ahead? What do you think? To all our readers, do you shop, live, or work here? Do you come into town by car or bike? By car or bus? Would you like to use your bike? Have you got any stories of bad journeys? Are you happy with our transport system? Or are you fed up with the dirt, noise, and pollution? Contact us by email and we will print your answers next week. Okay, so that's the text that you see here. And then the first question says, question 1, it says, where can you find text A? On a bus, in a newspaper, or in a shop? Now, many people will choose on a bus because they're talking about journeys by bus. But remember, the best answer is B, in a newspaper. Now you might think, why? Well, one of the things that you can see in this text is to all our readers, okay? To all our readers. And if this is for readers, then this must be writing. Also, it says here, contact us, we will print your answers next week. It's future, we will print your answers. If they will print your answers, they are not a bus, it must be a newspaper who want to write about transportation. So this topic is about transportation. Okay, Number 2, or transport. What does the writer of text A want you to do? Use public transport, write an email, or go shopping in the town center? And the best answer for that one is B. Write an email. Yeah. So the people who write that would like you to write an email to them. It says here, contact us by email. Okay. Number 3. What does text A want your opinions on? Okay. So they would like with it finding jobs in the town, renting a house in the town, or traveling in the town. Well, all of this is about traveling. So the best answer for number 3 is C. Traveling in town. Number 4. How many different kinds of transport are there? Okay, and the best answer for that is there are 3. Okay, so there are 3 different kinds of transport. All you have to write is 3, but if you wanted to, you could also write what kind of transport. We have cars, bike, and a bus. Okay, so the 3 kinds of transport are car, bus, and bike. Any order is fine. Thank you. Okay, E2, the next thing we are given is this text here, which is text B. Okay, so text B says, one second. Okay, now text B says, yesterday, it says, Sarah Martin answers a question in text A. Look at text B. So, the newspaper asked the people to talk about their journeys. And that was in the first one, text A. And then in text B, we have, okay, Sarah Martin writes and explains about her journeys. Okay, let's have a look what she says. She says, yesterday I left home at 8 o'clock, as I always do, to catch the 8:10 bus. It didn't arrive until 8:20. It was already full, and I had to stand. We know what that's like. I only live 2 miles from the city center, where I am a cashier in a bank. My journey usually takes between 15 and 20 minutes. But yesterday, after half an hour, we were still not in the center. All the roads to the marketplace were jammed, and our bus did not move. I finally got off and walked to work. I was on time, but my feet hurt in my new shoes. Why do selfish people park their cars so badly to stop the traffic? We don't go into town at weekends because there aren't enough buses. I prefer to drive to a shopping area out of town. Please give us better public transport on Sunday and the evenings. Sarah Martin. So we hear about Sarah. She had trouble going to work. The bus was busy. She was late. She had to walk. Well, she wasn't late, but anyway, we'll talk about that. Question 5, why is Sarah angry? So why is Sarah angry? And the answer she is angry is B. And that is, some car drivers park badly. Okay, so if you understand this one, the bus is going into the city center, but someone is parked in a bad place. The bus can't get past, and it causes what we call a traffic jam. And that's a good word for you, okay? We said the roads are jammed, okay? A traffic jam is when you have too many cars on the road and the traffic is stopped, okay? Sometimes you're waiting in a traffic jam, you go forward, you stop, like that. Stop, start traffic. Traffic jam, okay. Looking at question 6. What information does text B tell you? Okay, now, for that one we have A, B, C, D, and you can't see it, and E. Okay, so let's look at that one. I'll put D over here to help you to see those. Okay, so is this yes or no for each one? Okay. How much the bus journey costs? No, this is not mentioned in the text. There is no price. We don't know. What Sarah's job is? Yes, we do. Sarah is, what's her job? That's right, she's a cashier. What problems Sarah had on her way to work? Oh, yes. We know the problem she had on her way to work. The bus was late. She walked. She got off the bus. She walked in her new shoes. She hurt her feet. That was a problem. D, what the bus driver said. No, I don't know what the bus driver said. Probably was angry. Maybe many bad words, but I don't know what he said. And E, where Sarah stops at weekends. Yes, we do know where Sarah shops at weekends. Where does she shop? Anybody tell me? Okay, that's right. It says she goes to a shopping area out of town. This could be like the metro center. It's a shopping area out of town. Okay. And question 7, we have just enough room to fit in question 7. Let's do it before I hit pause again. And that is, what does Sarah want in the evenings? And the answer for that one is better public transport. Okay, she wants public transport. That's the main thing. If you have the word public transport, give yourself a point. Well done. It says here, she says, please give us better public transport on Sundays and in the evenings. All right, that's part 1 finished. We're moving on to part 2. Okay, so the next text is part 2. Part 2 is quite difficult. Okay, and I if you have many wrong on this, don't worry about that. It's a difficult test, okay? But it's about pedicab drivers. And do you know what a pedicab driver is? Well, you know what a cab driver is. A cab driver is a taxi driver, okay? So what a pedicab driver is something like a taxi driver. And I'm going to just draw a picture of a pedicab. And I think you have these in India and Bangladesh. It's a kind of, I'm not very good at drawing this, but you might have a cart in the back, okay, with people on it, okay, and a couple of wheels, okay? And so the people sit here on the back of the car, okay? Now, it's actually pulled by a man on a bicycle, okay, who is riding here. So, man or woman, not doing very well on the drawing here, but drawing on the bicycle. Okay, so you got the rider here, the man driving the bicycle, and then you have the people in the back, okay, of this. And this it looks like a bicycle, but it has 3 wheels and 2 people in the back and 1 in the front. And it's like for people going from place to place, a bit like a rickshaw, you know. A rickshaw was with people walking, but this one is with a bicycle, and it's called a pedicab. The word pedi comes from pedals, and the word cab is like comes from a cab or a taxi, something like that. Okay. So hopefully you can understand that. If you don't know what pedicab means, just look at Google Images pedicab, and you will see everything you need to see on Google. It's a better teacher than me. Okay. Question number 8. What is the best title for text C? Okay. Now this is the text C. Okay. And I've actually written it in. And I think the best title for all of this text is B. Being your own boss. This is a story about a man who decided to leave his job and become a pedicab driver. The other one's getting rich quickly. That's not good because he's not rich. He says he doesn't make much money, okay? It says he doesn't earn a lot of money, so it can't be getting rich. The second one, becoming famous. No, it does. He does drive famous people, but Matt doesn't become famous. So the best answer is being your own boss. The next one, we had paragraph 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it says here, what is the right paragraph? So in the paragraph, you have here 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? So you have 4 different titles there. And the question is, what can we do? How can we... What title, what subheading would go as well with that? So for the first subheading, I put the answer is E. Interesting passengers. Okay. You see there, interesting passengers go together with A. You don't have to write that there. You can just write the answers here. Okay? Interesting passengers. Let's listen. Interesting passengers. When pedicab driver Matt isn't taking people around the city, he is busy repairing pedicabs. He's his own boss, works in the open air, and stays strong and healthy. He sometimes meets famous pop stars. The pop stars like people to see them in Matt's open cab, rather than the usual taxi. Last week, he took 2 England footballers to an expensive restaurant. Taxis can be slower than pedicabs because of all the traffic. But the thing is that in the first paragraph, they talk about some very famous people he is taking in the pedicab. One, footballers, and also other famous celebrities. So, very good. So number 2, what is a good title for that? And the best answer would be, I think, D, A Normal Day. Okay, so a normal day. About lunchtime, he always goes into the city center to give rides to tired shoppers who have lots to carry. Then he cycles through the theater district, and he is usually busy there until 1 a.m. At weekends, he can be out until 5 a.m. because there is no public transport after midnight. Again, we're talking about his everyday thing. So this is a typical day, which would be D. Number 3, the best answer, I think, is C, okay, which is better than the past. Now, in topic C, which is the 3rd paragraph here, better in the past is the best answer you can choose. We learn about Matt and how he changed his job to become a pedicab driver. Let's have a listen. Matt wanted a change. For nearly 10 years, he worked with his brother and friend in a successful computer business. They worked long hours. Then Matt heard about pedicab drivers. He doesn't earn a lot of money now, but he doesn't have the stress either. So Matt changed his job from working for a computer company to becoming a pedicab driver. So the best answer is better than the past. He's not as rich, but he has less stress. Okay, number 4. The answer is A, typical prices. Okay. Last paragraph, there isn't an official fare. Now, you might not know the word fare, okay, but a fare is how much, like a charge, like a fee. So you have a taxi fare, okay. There isn't a typical fare. You have to ask the pedicab driver, but you usually pay about £5 per mile per person. So that's £5 per mile. That's a pretty good price. On a busy Saturday, a driver can do 10 trips. Renting a pedicab on a daily basis costs between £25 to £85. Well, it depends where you're going. I think it would take me a long time to get home on a pedicab driver, but that's great. Okay, so those are the answers there. E, B, C, and A. Okay, looking at number 10 again. Look at these sentences. Are they true or false? Pedicab drivers can be women. Is that true? Yes, it is true. Okay, so if we look at this part here at the very bottom, can you see it? Yes, okay. It does say that pedicab drivers can be women. Pedicab drivers are able to drive a car. Yes, this is also true. Why is it true? Well, it says you have to be a holder of a UK driving license. So if you're a holder of a UK driving license, you can drive a car. Pedicab drivers can be 20 years old. No, this one is false. That's not true. You have to be between 21 to 40 to drive. If you're over 40 years old, a bit like me. Okay, pedicab drivers work evenings. That is true. They do work at night. How do we know this? Well, it says here, able to work late. Okay, so if work late, if someone says work late, that means the same as work in the evenings. Okay, very, very good. We just have a couple more questions. We can sneak in here. Question 12. Question 12 is the last question. Oh, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, let's look at 12. In 12, who does Matt help every day? Now notice they say every day, not on special days. Every day the best answer is C, tired shoppers. Now, he doesn't see footballers every day. The text says he sometimes meets famous pop stars. Sometimes, just sometimes, 20%, 5% of the day. But usually he takes busy shoppers. Okay, 13. Can you see that? Number 13? Okay, I'm gonna just do a little bit of erasing here while I'm talking to you. Okay, number 13, we'll have a look at that. Okay. Can't believe I'm going to be back and seeing you guys in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited about this. Question 13. Look at paragraph 3 of text C. What does he mean? So, paragraph 3, text C, we see it says, Matt wanted a change. For nearly 10 years, he worked with his brother. Matt wanted a change. For nearly 10 years, he. So, he means Matt. Yes? If we change he with Matt, we know that it could be Matt. Matt wanted a change. For nearly 10 years, Matt worked with his brother. So when you have that situation, you're going to want to change he with Matt. And I think the best answer for that one is A, Matt. 14. Look at text C. What did Matt not like about working with his brother? Now remember, it's not like, and they emphasize the word not. So what didn't he like about working with his brother? Well, there were two things he didn't like. One of them was long hours. He didn't like working long days, all day, 16 hours a day, whatever. It's a long, long day. The other thing he didn't like was the stress. So he said that he has less stress now. So if you have long hours, or you have stress, or you have both, you are fine. You got the right answer. 15. Look at paragraph 4 of text C. Which word means journeys? And the best answer for that one is trips. Okay, a journey is the same as a trip. Okay, usually journeys tend to be a longer trip. So, for example, you might not use the word I'm having a journey to the supermarket, just a trip to the supermarket, but you might say journey to France, or journey to England, or journey to London. So a journey is generally a longer journey. A trip is more of a general word. It could be a small trip to the shops, trip to Newcastle, or it could also be a longer word. But the two words mean the same thing. Journey is a long trip, okay? And journey can also be used in a way like he has his life's journey in a kind of metaphorical way. And trip is more practical. Anyway, thank you. We are now moved on to part 3, life at home. Part 3. Julie Adams writes about her brother. Look at text D. Life at home. Life at Home by Julie Adams. Now, I'm going to read this, okay, just in case it helps you to understand. Okay. I was visiting my family when my parents' new freezer arrived. The old one wasn't broken. It just wasn't big enough for all my brother's ready-cooked meals. My parents are now retired, and they don't like the cold weather, so they leave the UK every winter and spend a month in the sun. My parents have to cook and freeze meals for 4 weeks before they go on holiday. That's right, my youngest brother Michael, 41, doesn't often cook a meal and never operates a washing machine or a vacuum cleaner, because he still lives at home. Michael is handsome, bright, popular, and hardworking. He likes going out with friends, but he prefers living with mom and dad to living independently. In Britain today, 58% of men between the ages of 20 and 24 still live with their parents. And the number is going up. 15 years ago, it was 25. Between the ages of 40 and 50, only 5% still live with them. Okay, so more people are living at home. Michael says that the main reason for staying with our parents is money. Our eldest brother Paul left home to get married, John, the second one, and I left home in our teens to look for work. We all now have good jobs, but Michael works on short-term contracts as a lorry driver and is badly paid. So it's the money. Michael's hours are long. He leaves the house at 6 a.m. and returns at 6:30 p.m. Wow, that's a long time. I'm so shattered at the end of the day, I can't do anything. I just want to relax, he says. It's great coming home and everything is done for me. It's like a hotel, but at home. Mom enjoys looking after Michael, and Dad loves having him at home. Okay, so the parents aren't complaining. Life is going to change soon. Now Dad is retired. Our parents want to buy a bungalow and are selling their house. Michael has to move out and find a flat. That will be difficult for everyone. Now, some of you might live together with your parents or your in-laws. You know about this situation. Let's look at text 16. Okay. What is text D? A letter to a neighbor, an email to a friend, or an article in a newspaper? C. Yes, that's right. It's an article. If you don't know what an article is, an article, A-R-T-I-C-L-E, is something in a newspaper that you can read. Okay? 14. What is Julie Adams explaining? And the best answer is C. Okay? Why Michael hasn't got his own home. Yeah, so why he doesn't have a home, that is what it's about. It's about life at home. Okay? Question 18. Why does Michael live with his parents? He doesn't have any friends? He doesn't earn much money? Or he can't cook? Well, we know he has friends because he's popular. And he can cook. So the best answer is he doesn't earn much money. B. So to save money, he lives with his parents. 19. Look at these sentences. Are they true or false? Okay. So we have A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, so are they true or false? I'm going to try to make this very clear. A. Julie lives with her parents. This is false. Why do we know it's false? Well, because Julie says in the first sentence, I was visiting my family. So if she's visiting them, that means she doesn't live there. B. The old freezer was too small. Yes, that's true. The freezer wasn't broken. It was just too small for his meals. Maybe he needs a takeaway. I don't know. C. More young people now live with their parents than before in Britain, and this is true. It's very true. Remember they said that 58% of men between 20 and 24 live with their parents. 15 years ago, it was 25%. Okay. It takes longer to get a contract now. D. Michael is older than his brothers, and the answer is false. No, Michael is not older. He is their youngest brother. Okay. And then finally, E. Michael's parents are happy that he lives with him, and this answer is true. This is nice. Parents like him being there. In the second to last paragraph, there is Mom enjoys looking after Michael and Dad loves having him at home. So here we have both of them. Parents like having Michael at home. So that's good for Michael. Question 23. Look at text D. How many brothers has Julie Adams got? What is the right answer? The best answer is 3. Okay, she has 3 brothers. How do we know this? Okay, I'm just going to take a little bit of time to explain that. If you go back to paragraph, right, in paragraph 4. Okay, so in paragraph 4, you will read, Michael says that the main reason for staying with the parents is money. Our eldest brother, Paul, left home to get married. So you have Julie. Julie is writing the article, Julie Adams. Okay. Then the eldest brother is Paul. Now Paul, eldest, if you don't know this word, it means the same as oldest. We use the word eldest to refer to people and age. For people, we would say he is the eldest. Oldest, eldest, it doesn't matter. We don't use eldest for buildings, we use oldest. So this word eldest, we don't use as much as we used to, but elderly, old, it means oldest, okay? Our eldest brother left home to get married. So Paul is married, he's number one, okay? John, the second one, and I left home in our teens to get work. So then we have John. John must be the second brother. And then you've got Julie, number 3. We all have good jobs, but Michael works on short-term contracts as a lorry driver. So if you choose a job that isn't very well paid, your life can be quite difficult. Anyway, a lot of different reasons your life could be difficult. But there we are. We've got Paul, John, Julie, and Michael. And there are 3 boys here, Paul, John, and Michael. So she has 3 brothers. Question 24. Look at paragraph 1 in text E. What does they mean? Okay. And the best answer for that is parents. Okay. So if we go back to that one, my parents have to cook and freeze meals for 4 weeks before they go on holiday. So who goes on holiday? The parents go on holiday. Does it make sense to say the weeks go on holiday? No. The meals go on holiday? No. So that's the right answer. Okay, 25. It says, which word means tired? And the word that means tired is shattered. S-H-T-T-E-R-E-D. Okay. Now the word shatter, if you don't know this, to shatter something means to break it. Okay. So if you have glass and you break the glass, you say you shattered the glass. The glass is shattered. Okay. So to break something fragile into many pieces is to be shattered. But especially in Britain, people say, oh, I'm shattered. That means I'm very, very tired. Okay. Okay, and finally, for the last question today, we are looking at question 26. Michael has a list of takeaway restaurants. So maybe the freezer is broken. He needs to take away. Understand that. Okay. So we have here, this is a list. Mandy's Kitchen, Lotus Garden, Jade House, Himalaya Palace, Himan Kebabs, and Giorgio's. I know it's a bit difficult to see here, but you can see this on your paper. Okay, all of these. So what are we going to do in this case? I'll try to get some of the glare off of that. A little bit. Okay, so what do? How do we sort it out? Well, we have to put this in alphabetical order first, okay? And alphabetical order means that we go from A, which is in the beginning of the alphabet, all the way to Z, which is the bottom. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. There's a certain order in the alphabet. Do we have an A? No. B, C, D, E, F, G. G is the first one we have, and that is for Giorgio's. So we know number 1 is going to be, it's Giorgio's Pizzas. So Giorgio's Pizza is number 1, we know that, okay? Which one is number 2? H, we have H, but we have 2 H's. We have H-E, Himan Kebabs, and Himalaya Palace. Which one is next? Well, I think Himan is next. So we're going to write that there. Himan Kebabs is next. Himalaya is after that, because H-I comes after H-E. Himalaya Palace is next. And then, of course, we have Jade House. Oh, look at this. They're all in order. Next is L, and finally M. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. 4 will be Jade House. 5 will be Lotus. And 6 will be Mandy's. Okay, can you see that on the board? I'll just change the lighting in the room for a second if you can see that. Can you see that on the board? Okay, so this is the list that we have in alphabetical order. Giorgio's, Himan, Himalaya, Jade, and Lotus. Again, that's because G, H, H-E, H-I, because H are the same, J, K, L, M. Okay, last time I do this, sorry, you can skip forward if you don't, this is too easy for you. Those are the answers, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H-I-J-K-J-K-L-M-N-O-P. So it's, you have to practice this if you don't know. If you don't know, just write out the alphabet yourself and then practice it. Which takeaway is first in the phone book? Well, the answer is, for that one, the answer is for A. Let me just make some space here. Okay, so we have our list now in alphabetical order, okay, of all the takeaway restaurants. That's what we need. Okay, so we've got, the answer is for A. Which one is first? And that will have to be Giorgio's. So Giorgio's Pizzas. Giorgio's Pizzas is number 1 in the directory. B. Which takeaway is last? Well, that would have to be Mandy's. Mandy's Kitchen. C. Which takeaway comes after Heman Kebabs? Well, Heman is H-E, so that must have to be the Himalaya Palace. So those are the answers there. A, Giorgio's Pizza, B, Mandy's Kitchen, and C, Himalaya Palace. That is the end of the test. As you know, this has been I've done a long lesson today. Part of the reason I did a long lesson is a difficult test, okay? And anyway, I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm going to just make one more video, I think, next week. But anyway, or will I? Maybe I will. Maybe I will see you in class. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much and have a lovely day.